everybody, and welcome back to Yard Sale Squad. I'm so glad that you're here and that you get to share this day with me. Today I am making supper partially in the crock pot, so I'm going to go ahead and get that started. I have all my ingredients laid out, and if you'll notice, we have some ginger, we have some soy sauce, so you can tell that we are kind of headed in an Asian flavor profile today. We are making these Asian drumsticks. I've seen Hillary make these from Old World Home, and I had a pack of chicken drumsticks that I used earlier in the week for like a barbecue chicken, so now I'm going to make these. So it just starts out with a simple marinade, and once you whisk all the ingredients together, then you pour them over the chicken. It also makes a nice sauce, so you can put the sauce over your rice or whatever grain or vegetables you might be serving alongside it. So I'm going to get that going in my crock pot, and then I will go about the rest of my day. So I like this because it's very simple. I can put it on right around lunchtime, and then at dinner time it is ready to go. Just very nice, very simple. Well, hey everybody, I hope you're having a good October. I am just going to take you through an afternoon in our life. This morning we did school, so the kids did their math and some English work, and then I read to them from their book of virtues while they ate lunch, and then I actually took a nap and they had some television time. So we are about to go outside, but I wanted to show you what I'm going to have as a little treat first. I'm going to have half of one of those sourdough cinnamon rolls. If you watched my October reset, I told you that I have sourdough starter now, and so I made the cinnamon rolls for a second time. Actually, my starter sat untouched in the fridge for like a month, and it developed this film on the top of it that was sort of white and bubbly. It didn't have an odor to it, so I really didn't believe it was mold. But I asked some of my friends that do sourdough starter, and they said they thought it was a type of yeast that's called cam yeast. So I'll put a picture here of what it looked like. But they said just scrape it off, put it in a new jar, and then feed it, and then try to use it. So I did, and the cinnamon rolls turned out great. Brandon was giving me a hard time. He said we've gone through them really fast, but we have shared them with neighbors, so I haven't eaten that many of them. But let me show you just how good they look. So the recipe does make 12, and we are down to 3, but I just want to show you how delicious they are. I mean, these warm with some coffee or some milk are just delicious. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do for the moment. And then we have Bible study tonight, or I should say book study. We alternate between sometimes doing like a book of the Bible and then sometimes doing a book study. So we're going to do a book about kind of praying through the Bible. So tonight we're going over chapter 1 of that, and I am going to bring a couple snacks to that. In addition to that, I have supper going behind me. So that's what you already saw. I'm making some Asian drumsticks, and then I went ahead and made some rice so that can be cooling so I can make it into fried rice. And then I'm going to do a stir fry to go with it. So yeah, but first I'm just going to sit down and eat my cinnamon roll, and then we're going to have some outside time.
And there's lion and marine.
Are they outside?
I'll have two and you have two. Let me show you how wide the pool.
All right, well, you're due for a Zenya update. Honestly, I kind of ignored these for a few weeks. If you'll see, they've got lots of dead, dry leaves at the bottom, but then we have lots of good flowers up at the top and even some new growth at the top. Since this is my first year really doing zinnias, I really don't know how long they will last. We're kind of early mid-October here, so I feel like at some point soon they're going to start kind of petering out. And I do want to try to dry the seeds and collect those. So I guess I'll just kind of let them do what this one is starting to do. Just let them sort of start to dry, and then I'll harvest the seeds from those pods. That's kind of my thought. But I will walk through and show you some of the prettier ones that are still remaining. gonna head inside. The gnats are bad, no surprise. But I'm gonna head inside and I'm gonna chop up some vegetables for Bible study. I'm gonna do some sort of dip, like a ranch, dill, something, I don't know. I'm kind of just hoping I'll look at what I have and then I'll get inspired. So I'm just gonna chop up some vegetables and do that. I'm gonna rinse some grapes. I've got a bag of pita chips I'm gonna take. And then I'm going to finish up the supper. So I'm gonna make sure that I link all of these recipes that I'm using down below. For the stir fry, I just didn't use a recipe. I just put them in a little bit of olive oil and butter and then added just a little bit of seasoning and soy sauce. It does not matter how old I get or what tricks I try, onions still get me from time to time. So if you have any tips or tricks to help onions not bring tears to your eyes, I would love for you to leave those down below. This fried rice recipe really is so delicious. It's from the blog Hungry Happens. I really like her things, and this blog actually includes a steak recipe. Now, of course, today we're doing the chicken, but the steak is equally delicious, so I will make sure to link that down below for you guys. I will say I half the amount of rice because it makes so much. I mean, you saw how full my griddle was, so imagine if I made the full recipe, it would just make a ton. So I ended up just doing like ranch dip with the ranch packet and a container of sour cream. I just did half the amount. I sliced half of an English cucumber and a yellow bell pepper, and then I washed some grapes, and then I'm bringing pita chips. So nothing revolutionary, but a good variety of things to hopefully add to the table. I ran out of time. I was going to show you a couple of the things that I was wanting to do today. So if I get them done tomorrow, then I will just film that tomorrow and just include those clips. I am just going through and organizing a lot of areas. You've seen me working on my closet. We've also been working on our outbuilding. It's really like where we have a lot of storage. And one thing that's stored in there is kids' clothing of various sizes. And we've had a lot of dust in there, just a lot of dust. So we've been working to remedy that problem and make some changes. And one of the things I'm wanting to do is transition everything over into clear plastic bins that have a snapping lid. So we went today to Walmart and we bought 3 Sterilite bins to transfer some clothing to. So right now the house feels kind of chaotic because there is folded kids' clothing everywhere that I want to put back in storage. So I'm going to do that. And then another thing that I wanted to do, we haven't really decorated for fall at all because it just hasn't really felt like it. So I think we'll probably do that in the next week. But one part of that is changing over our seasonal books. So I want to take out all of the spring, all of the summer, and I want to put in the fall ones, the Halloween, the Thanksgiving. It's hard for me, honestly, to believe we're even at this point. And maybe it's just because our weather, doesn't feel like that here yet. But anyway. All right, you guys. Well, that is pretty much all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you, and I will be talking to you soon.